Good afternoon, everyone. Intelligence without ambition is bird without wings, said by Salvador Dali. Ambition beats genius 99% of the time because ambition is more than mere desire. Ambition is the path to success, persistence is the vehicle you arrive in. A very good afternoon, everyone. I, Lavanya, Assistant Professor, Department of Business Administration, feel extremely happy to invite you all to the two-day national level webinar on trends and practices in HR, organized by Abhyuday HR Club, an initiative by Department of Business Administration. The program concentrates on spreading the knowledge on trends and practices in the area of HR, igniting the young minds aspiring to establish their chosen careers in HR domain. I'm sure the session is going to be enriching and purpose-filling. I take this opportunity to welcome Dr. Sundar Anantharaman, freelance trainer having 30 years of experience, who is the speaker for the day. Sir, it's an honor having you here with us today. On behalf of everyone gathered here, I welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. I take this opportunity to welcome our beloved principal, Dr. S. Anil Kumar, sir, who is the pillar for strength, who always been supporting to us. Sir, on behalf of everybody gathered here, we welcome you, sir. I now welcome our beloved Head of the Department of Business Administration, Mr. Jagadish A., without whose support this was impossible. We welcome you, sir. I welcome Dr. Nagaraj MS, HOD of Department of Commerce, and Mrs. Shanti Krishna, HOD of Department of BCA, for their continuous support. Welcome, both of you. And I welcome our beloved colleagues and their students for the program. Human resource plays a significant role in developing a positive business culture and improving employee engagement, and thereby yielding towards enhanced productivity. In the present context, HR function is taking the center stage. Companies are being increasingly measured by the decisions they have taken and the way they treat their staff. Having such prominence, HR domain is a game changer. We are elated to have Abhyuday, the HR club, to assist the students to aspire for a better future. That's why they say, financial resources may be the lifeblood of a company, but human resources act like brains. Today, we have a facilitator who is going to enrich us through his knowledge. I'm referring to Mr. Sundar Anantharaman, the speaker of the day. Now, I request Mrs. Pallavi, Assistant Professor, Department of Business Administration, to introduce Sir to the gathering.
Thank you, ma'am. Make your life a masterpiece. Imagine no limitations on what you can be, have, or do. A very good afternoon to one and all present here in the webinar. I am Pallavi, Assistant Professor, Department of Business Administration. It's my privilege to introduce to you all today's chief guest and speaker, Sundar Anantharaman, the training specialist. Sir has a total experience of more than 30 years, both as a corporate citizen and also as self-employed professional. Sir works as a visiting faculty at Institute of Chartered Accountants, Bangalore, for the GMCS and IPCC programs. He has also developed training module called Integrated Personality Development Program, designed for fresh graduates as well as working professionals. Sundar Sir has conducted training programs on various topics to corporates as well as educational institutions. To name a few, corporate etiquette, training on conflict management, leadership skills, time management and planning, ego and anger management, work-life balance for happiness, and many more. I hope that today's webinar inspires ideas and discussions around the ways that we can make our HR club one of the best club of our college. Dear sir, we are so happy to have you today. I extend my warm welcome to you once again on behalf of everybody. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. And good afternoon to you all. I'm very happy to be amidst all of you today in this national level webinar on the trends and practices in HR. I was here yesterday and listening to Sister Bindushri, and I also saw the enthusiastic response from all the youngsters here. At the outset, I'd like to recognize the presence of Dr. S. Anil Kumar, the principal of SSM MRV College. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you for accepting our invitation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Nice to have you in our webinar.
Thank you,
your
sir.
Experience will go a long way, and sharing your experience with your youngsters.
My pleasure. It's my pleasure.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All the professors who have come here to also be a part of this program, and also the students. Well, my friends, I'd like to have this as interactive as possible because this is a webinar. Unfortunately, I can't meet you in person, though I would have loved it. And so only thing is, I request you all to be attentive, interactive, because I have a lot of doubts. So I keep asking questions to you, right? You may not, if you have doubts, you can ask me. If I have doubts, I will ask a lot of questions to you. And I would even name you to request you to answer these questions, right? Right. Now, let's start the presentation. The presentation is about trends and practices in HR. What it means is today, what is the situation today, right now? You are inside the college. You're all freshers, raring to go and prove yourself in the corporate world, right? Now, I would like to give you an atmosphere outside what exactly is happening and what is the expectation level. What is the expectation of the corporate? What way you need to prepare yourself to start a corporate innings. So let's start the presentation. I'll just share the screen with you, the presentation, 1 minute. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So my friends, what is 1 minute? You're able to see the screen now, no?
Yes, sir.
So you may have to share the presentation.
Pardon? Presentation, is it? 1 minute.
Slideshow.
Yeah, slideshow. You're able. This is a slideshow, right?
We are
Sir,
only
happy
Yes, sir.
birthday. Sir, you can click on the slideshow and start from the beginning.
Yes. What is a resource? We call human resource, but what exactly is called a resource? A resource, I mean, most of you may know all these things. What Wikipedia says is a resource refers to the materials available in our environment, which helps us to satisfy our needs and want. Now, one of the resources is also called as human resource. Now, my friends, this is very, very critical. In an organization, we may have various resources. Money is a resource, product is a resource, and similarly, human resource is a very important component. These days, it is also called as human capital. Okay? Okay. Now let's see how the human capital, how human resource is an important ingredient. Now, before this, I'd like to share with you, since you're all freshers, today,
Sundar sir,
Sundar
sir, good afternoon. Gokul here.
Yes,
So,
Ravi.
would you mind pressing F5 on your desktop or your laptop? That
F?
will ensure that we see the full screen. As of now, we are
F?
not able to see your full screen. Just
Yeah, F
F5.
what?
F5,
F,
function 5.
F5.
F5, yes, sir.
Okay.
That ensures that the full screen is displayed on the.
1 minute.
Yeah.
I pressed it.
F5,
F5,
the one on the
numerical
top
5,
panel.
isn't it?
F1, F2, F3.
Yeah.
F as in Fox, 5 as in numerics.
Yeah, yeah.
F5.
I pressed it.
Okay, but still we're not able to see the screen.
Probably you would have
Sundar
to
sir.
stop sharing the screen and again share it back, sir, to the slideshow.
Yeah.
Okay. See, when I say present, it means entire screen, window, and
Yes,
tab,
sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
I should click the window, isn't it?
So you can click the entire screen, no problem.
Okay. Okay, 1 minute.
Then slideshow and then start presenting from the beginning.
Okay, 1 minute. Amod, the PPT is not coming.
Sir, second option is you could just mail that PPT to us. That is also one option. Just in case you want us to present it, we could do that. That's also fine.
You mean I should email it to you?
Yes, sir. That will be great.
1 minute.
Yes.
Can you just...
Yes. 1 minute. I have just.
Yeah, what is your email ID, please?
I have just typed in, sir. I've just typed in the chat box. You could use that.
1 minute.
Participants, please, we are sorry for the interruption. Just to ensure that we have a seamless presentation, we're just taking some extra time.
Yeah, I sent it to you, Gokul.
Thank you, sir. Give me a minute. Yes, sir. I have received it. So whenever you want me to change the slides, please do let me know. I'll
Yes,
do it.
yes.
So there are about 27 slides here.
Yes.
1 minute, sir. Let me just put it onto the desktop. Yes. Is it better now?
Yes,
Are
yes,
the
yes.
participants able? Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. And sorry for the trouble. Thank you.
Yeah.
Over to you, sir.
Yeah, next slide, please.
Yes, sir.
And the next slide. Next slide. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So, my friends, I was talking about the research done by Harvard Business School a few years back. Can anyone tell me where is Harvard Business School? Seems to be a familiar name. Can anyone tell me where is Harvard Business School, please? Deepika? Where is Harvard?
I just have a guess, sir.
Yeah, guess.
London.
No. No.
Boston, US, sir.
Yeah, it's Boston in US. Harvard Business School is one of the best B schools in the world, right? And they did a research a few years back to find out what are the components for success of a student when you take up a job. When all the 64 people take up a job tomorrow in a corporate, what are the factors for success? And they found two. Not only in India, not only in Boston, but all over the world, two factors are important. And Jagdish, what are they? Hey, Jagdish, unmute yourself and speak. Are you there, Jagdish? How about Karthikeyan?
Yes,
Yeah, Jagdish. Yes, Jagdish. What are they? Two factors. Can you answer quickly? There on the screen. Attitude and aptitude. Aptitude and attitude. And attitude contributes to 85%. Aptitude, which comprises our bookish knowledge, our theoretical knowledge, our qualifications, our marks, only contribute to 15%. I am not saying this because I am a trainer. This is a research based on the research done by the world's best institute, Harvard Business School. Right? I just want to give you this information because this you have to keep it in your back of your mind when you take up a job. Next slide, please. Next slide. Now, friends, I want to share with you, there's something concept called as a competency ladder. The first stage, when you're not aware of what you need to do, or you don't have knowledge, but you don't know that you don't know. That is the stage of unconscious incompetency. From that stage, you know that you do not know, is the stage where it is conscious incompetency. When you reach a stage of conscious incompetency, then you would like to know, you would attend a webinar, you attend a training program, you join a college, you get to know the information. That is called as conscious competency. And from there, with a lot of amount of practice and things like that, you reach a level of unconscious competency. Now, at the competency stage, right now, most of you are in conscious incompetency stage. You're not in unconscious incompetency stage. Unconscious incompetency stage is, I don't know that I don't know. Wow. I do not know, but I do not know that I do not know is unconscious incompetency. From that level, you go to a level where is at least I know that I don't know, that is conscious incompetency. So as regards the trends in HR is concerned, what is going to happen tomorrow to my career? How is going to be my the way path forward for my career? You are the stage of conscious incompetency. I know that I do not know. Some of us, maybe some of the professors who are attending here, some of the senior professionals are at the level either conscious competency or unconscious competency. So we have to graduate at any maybe at any subject, any topic, from unconscious competency stage to conscious competency to conscious competency to unconscious competency. So this is what is called as in management called as competency ladder. Next slide, please. My friends, since you're all freshers, I have added one or two more slides here before I go to the main subject. Interview is called as an inner view. You have not seen the organization. The organization has not seen you. So it's a meeting where you get the inner view of the organization and the organization gets the inner view of yourself. So that is a meeting. It is called as an interview. It's also called as an inner view. Next slide, please. Gokul, next slide. Yeah. What are the features of an interview? Yesterday, Sister Bhagyashree was nicely mentioning about certain questions they asked you. She gave you some tips, some more tips. is that 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 20 minutes can make or break your future in that company. It is so vital. It is so important for you to keep the best foot forward in the interview. And mind you, both of you are the same level. Please do not think that the organization is at a higher level and you are at a lower level. No, both of you are at the same level. Why? Because in as much as you need a job, the organization also is looking for a good candidate. So both of you are looking for an ideal situation. Organization is looking for an ideal candidate. A candidate is looking for an ideal organization. So never feel that you are at a lower end. Though you will be seeking for a job, the company is also seeking for a good candidate. So it's a two-way process, right? So these are all the rudiments of career planning, or an awareness that you have to create yourself before going for an interview. Next slide, please. Some tips is that obviously these are all things which were happening 20 months ago when the interviews were going on in person. But today, in the next slides which are going to come, I'm going to share with you what are the trends today. It is online, right? So whether it is online or offline, you have to be on time for the interview. Like you were on time for this webinar, right? You have to carry an extra copy of your resume when you are going in person. As yesterday, Sister Bhagyashree was mentioning, again, we would like to repeat it. You have to do a pre-call research about the organization before going. Grooming standards is very important. Especially this aspect is being neglected when it is online. You must have positive body language, eye-to-eye contact, and always have a pleasant smile. You know why smile is very important? Can Fauzal tell me why smile is very important in an interview? Fauzal?
Sir, it's denote a positivity.
Very good. Then, most importantly?
Optimism.
Optimism. Very good. It gives you, it displays self-confidence. Self-confidence, positivity. That means you are knowledgeable. You are self-confident. So smile is very, very important. And there are 50 types of smiles. Let me tell you, out of experience I have learned. There is some sarcastic smile, nervous smile, political smile, right? There are a lot of smiles available, but you have to be genuine in your smile. Okay, have a pleasant smile. Next slide, please.
So
before this slide is changed, do you have any questions, please? Anybody has got any questions? Anybody has got any questions to ask? Yeah.
Yes, so just a small question about the ladder. I was curious to know, why do we need to move to the unconscious, the last one, the unintentional?
First is unconscious incompetency, then conscious competency. Are you talking about the upper one?
Yeah, the last one.
The last one is the ultimate one. The last one is the unconscious competency stage. That means by default, or by, for example, without any much of effort, you reach that stage. Like, for example, I'll tell you, somebody asked Sachin Tendulkar in those days when he was, it was heydays when he was batting, Sachin, how is that every 50 you convert into 100? I think the slide has moved to a lot of this thing. You have to go back, please. Slides. Go back. Yeah. Okay. So Sachin said that, till I score 50 runs, I focus on the ball. And after I score 50 runs, I concentrated on it so much that unconsciously starts playing the ball. The next 50 runs comes unconsciously to me without much of effort. That means it is the stage where you reach unconscious competency. For example, I start learning car. For example, R. Karthikeyan is a novice. He starts learning a car today, and he cannot drive on the busy Avenue Road or MG Road, right, today. So he will be only driving in a playground. Then he will slowly gain confidence. That is where he is a conscious competency stage. After 2 years, he will sing a song and drive a car. That is the level of unconscious competency.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Yeah, for every skill, we have to reach that level of unconscious competency, and that comes out of practice. I hope I have answered your question, Vandana.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Yes.
Yes, next slide, please. Yes, what are the skills needed today? Now, this is very important, my friends. Today, you need to have these skills. This skill sets needed keeps changing. And I'm talking about in 2021, what are the skills which is required today in the corporate? First is not only communication, but positive communication skills. Communication skills is a basic underground, basic undercurrent, which is very, very important in any job. But positive communication is using positive vocabulary. Never use negative words in your communication, be it interview, be it group discussion, be it in the meeting, office meetings, be it review meetings. Never use negative words, because if you use negative words, it means that you are a negative person. If you use positive words, even if it is a negative situation, you will be able to see things positively. So positive communication or affirmative communication is an in thing today. Interpersonal skills is very important, my friends. You need to have good interpersonal skills, not only with your colleagues and bosses, but also with your clients. Very important. You can't, you have relationship with various segments of people, society, customer, clients, vendors, suppliers, right? For example, management, the top management, the middle management, your own colleagues, right? So you need to have good interpersonal relationship, because that is where you're spending 8 to 10 hours in a day, whether it is online or offline, you're spending time with these people. So you must have good interpersonal skills. Next is emotional balance. Today is a stressful world. Everybody, right from the class 4 employee to the top management, everybody is stressed out. So you need to have an emotional balance. You need to perceive things in that light of things. You have to have a balance of mind and emotional balance, what is called as emotional balance. And we are going to discuss about this in the later slides also. The next slide, please. You must have problem solving skills. Why? Because there is already too many problems, right? I saw one of the posters in one of the boss's cabin. It says, I am here with a problem. Are you here with a solution, or are you a part of the problem? So you should not be a part of the problem, but you must, on the other hand, have the problem solving skills. Today, that if you have the skills, creative problem solving skills, you are the person who are wanted in the organization. Next, please. Today, because it is work from home, remote working, everything is virtual, you need to have online etiquette. There are a lot of things which are there. That's a separate subject by itself. It's a very growing subject, because you need to have online etiquette. You need to maintain time. You need to have dress code. Because just because you're working from home, it doesn't mean that you must wear a t-shirt and work. No, it has an impact on your mind. You must be formally dressed, and in the meeting must be formal, as good as it is in person, right? So online etiquette is very important. Next, please. Digital skills is very important. Irrespective of your, your area of specialization, basic requirement is digital skills. So these are the skills that are needed today. Next slide, Google. Now we are coming to the main crux of the presentation, my young friends. Today, COVID pandemic has taken a toll in the entire world, and HR is no exception. In fact, HR is the most affected one. So it has affected both the employers on one hand as well as candidates on the one hand, because the entire environment is changed. The working style is changed. The thinking is changed. Strategies have changed. Market practices have changed. Industry is changed. Industry has taken a total beating. The foreign exchange regulations have changed. The equations have changed. Market conditions have changed. So in the changed atmosphere, how it has impacted the HR, human resource, let us see in the slides. Because these are all things, because for you, this 60 and odd people who are going to start your career, these are all the things which are very, very important, because you have to keep abreast all these aspects and orient yourself to the changed situation. This is what is called as change management. Yeah, next slide. Now, from impact of pandemic, there has been a paradigm shift, and from the candidate's perspective, what do you think are the changes is what I would like to share now. Next slide, please. So work from home has become an in thing today. It has become a new normal. New normal itself has become a new normal. Everybody talks for everything. It's a new normal, right? Remote working or work from home has become the new normal. We better get adjusted to this. I hope and pray that this doesn't continue for long, but as long as you have the fear of pandemic in the atmosphere, in the world, you need to have people have resorting to work from home. In fact, in the IT industry, it is more tilting towards work from home culture. Major organizations like TCS and Infosys is perhaps the only exception which wants people to come to their office, but every other company in IT sector wants their employees to work from home, because there is a less reduction in overheads, there is an reduction in expenses, transportation cost is reduced, commutation cost is reduced, and things like that, right? So there's no in-person interviews going on now. It's all online interviews. So you have to get prepared for attending online interviews. No handshake, no greetings, no commuting, traveling in the traffic jam to go to your office, no late reporting and things like that. You have to log in on time from wherever you're working, and flexible working hours in certain industries. But if you're going to join manufacturing industries, you have to be prepared to work offline also, because there are some segments of employees in manufacturing industries who still continue to work offline, but most of them work online. Next slide, please. Now, my young friends, what I'd like to advise you is that right now, decide on whether you want to take up a product line or a service line. You know what I mean? What do you mean by service line, Gautam, Apu? What is the difference between service line and product line? Gautam, Apu, can you unmute yourself?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Gautam, Apu, can you tell me what exactly is the difference between product line and service line?
Product line deals with the product, but service line deals with service.
No, that is very no. What exactly? Can you give me an example of service sector? I mean service sector.
In service sector, there will be no physical product or any physical movement, sir. But in a product, there will be a physical product or something else.
Very good. Thank you, Gautam.
Thank you, sir.
What exactly what he meant was, you have to decide. For example, you need to, if you are going to join, yes, Prashant, correct. Telecom example for service industry. See, insurance, for example, telecom or construction activities, infrastructure. These are all industries which are service oriented. Hotel industry, very nice. But product industry is like, for example, a product, a consumer durable product, or even software, for example, is service industry. It is not a product. It is of course a product industry when it comes to software, but there are certain services in the IT which are ITES, which are service industry. So right now, what you need to decide is that whether you want to be in the product line or would you like to be in the service industry. Now, why I'm saying this is, of late, what is happening is there are people, there are students, there are candidates who are switching lines. You join an IT industry, after some time, you go to a mobile industry, a telecom industry where you go and join a mobile manufacturing company. Yes. Very good. Ola service industry, ITC is a product industry. Now, supposing you join Ola in the service industry and you would like to shift to Ola, the scooter industry, it is very difficult. You will not be selected. You have to confine yourself to one line. That is the trend today. Gone are those days when we were working, I can shift. In fact, I shifted from service industry to product industry because I was in marketing, and marketing is an what shall I say, an approach. The basic approach is marketing. I can definitely choose. I can switch over from one to one. I can swap. But today it's not possible. Everything is becoming specialized, my friends. So what I'd like to appeal to you is right now, discuss with your parents, discuss with your peers, discuss with your guides, discuss with your mentors, and decide whether you want to be in the service industry or the product industry. Because after a few years, after 2-3 years of working in one line, if you want to switch over, companies don't prefer you. You will not be shortlisted. You will be wondering why. I have got good experience. I have performed in the company. Why I have not been shortlisted? The reason is this. The insiders will not tell you this. They will only say, better luck next time. We'll get back to you in the interview. You do not know. They will never get back to you. The reason is this. Because they've had the what is called as job description in which they mention that specific industry exposure. So that is one thing which you have to keep it in mind. Next slide. You have to practice online and virtual interviews. Now, interview facing skills is one area where I focus normally as a recruitment consultant and as a placement training specialist. But today, I have to focus on training students on facing online interviews, virtual interviews. Like, for example, you need to have a good background, what I have now kept for myself. You can't have your bedroom as your background and attend an interview. You can't have your drawing room as your background and attend an interview. People will see this. Your attire is very important. Your facial expression is very important, right? You can't be leaning on a chair and attending interview. Your body language is very important. So you have to create an office atmosphere at home and be very, very, what shall I say, prudent and diligent in attending the interviews. So this has been the trend for the past 20 years. Most of the companies are not conducting offline interviews. They are conducting online interviews. Now, before even you attempt to go for an interview, what is happening today, the latest trend is that they give you a test. And the test is one thing where you can't play around. You can't fool around. They completely churn you and take the best out of you. Only the best will get selected. You have to get prepared for good aptitude test and your personality test. They'll frame questions in such a way that your personality is revealed to them like a mirror. You can't cover your personality, right? So that is what is happening today. And skills test, for example, the skills area where whichever you have given in your resume, they conduct a test on that. And mind you, for all this, they have softwares which will easily enable them to evaluate your personality, evaluate your skills. Next slide, please. What is called as onboarding? Karthikeyan? This is a HR terminology, but have you heard about it? Karthikeyan or Karthikeyan? Or Kavita Gowda? Can you quickly unmute yourself and answer this, please? No, Jagdish?
Can I
Hey,
answer,
Jagdish.
sir?
Yeah, Mahima, but Jagdish,
Yeah,
yes, tell me,
sir. So
Jagdish.
onboarding. Oh,
Okay, Mahima, tell me. Go ahead, Mahima.
sure, sir. Yeah. So onboarding process is this process which the company takes in to introduce the employee into the organization, sir.
Very good, very good, very good, very good. Okay, so this is very nice, Mahima. I mean, you answered it rightly. It is an onboarding, is an induction program where you get introduced to all your colleagues because you're not going to the office. You're not going to the office, right? You have to be at home and you report for duty from your home. This has never happened in the past. You have to go. You have to have a 10 days induction program and things like that. And you will be introduced to your bosses, your colleagues, your team members. But that is not happening today. Everything is virtual. You meet them, but you meet them online. So that is called as onboarding is the first initial induction program which is happening virtually today, right? So virtual meetings, you need to prepare yourself for virtual meetings every day, especially if you're going to join IT industry. Every day in and day out, you'll have strategy meetings, client meetings, online only. You don't have to go out. So you need to get prepared. It is it's a different ball game altogether because there's no physical movement, right? It's all your preparedness. You have to create that atmosphere and mentally you must get prepared, attuned to that kind of a ambience. That is very important. Right. Next slide, please. From the candidate's perspective, digital skills is very important. You have to hone up, sharpen your skills as regards digital this thing is concerned. It could be digital analysis, warehousing, and things like that, because these are all the tools which are adopted not just by IT industry, but any industry. It can be hotel industry, it can be tourism industry, it can be manufacturing industry. All these tools are applicable. So if you have digital skills, it will add up to your, what shall I say, to your skills, so that you will be able to get through in an interview. Next. As regards these critical thinking analysis is concerned, this is also an area which most of the companies are looking for. Does my candidates have critical analysis, critical thinking skills? Does he have that? Does she have that? Right? So they give you test on critical analysis. And one of the things is strategy management and conflict management. Because there are a lot of conflicts which is taking place inside and outside the organization. So you need to have an emotional balance. You need to have problem solving skills. You need to hone up your skills on conflict management. That's a separate subject by itself. How do you resolve conflicts? Or will you live with conflicts? You have to solve problems. You can't live with conflicts because you have timelines. You have target dates. If you are emotionally disturbed with the person, you can't be just continuing. You need to patch up the difference and ensure that the differences are melted down. Mitigate the difference and ensure that you progress. So conflict management skills, critical analysis is very, very important. Analysis, a particular thing will have to be analyzed critically, logically, and then come to a logical conclusion. Then take action on that. So this is a process. So get trained on these skills before you enter an organization. These are all the things that they expect in an organization. Next slide. Apart from this, soft skills, there are various soft skills which I mentioned there before, but here emotional intelligence is very important, my friends, because you are not exposed to corporate pressure at this stage. Now it comes out of experience, how to take in pressure. Companies create pressure. They are not sadists, but they don't have any other option because they get pressurized by their management. So they create pressure. They give you impossible tasks, but you have to take it all with a smile. If you go with a narrow feeling, you will not be able to survive in an organization. It's the age of this survival of the fittest. You need to be better than the best. So you need to aim for a best emotional intelligence. You need to maintain balance of emotions. Don't get bogged down when your boss fires you. Don't get bogged down when the employees criticize you. Don't get bogged down when a client criticizes your organization. You should be able to face it with a challenge. Create that positivity in you and create positive attitude and solve problems creatively. Creative thinking, creative problem solving, emotional intelligence. These are the core areas in soft skills that you need to practice right from today, not after 2 years. Because you will not get time when you join an organization, you will not get time for all these things. So right now you need to practice this. Next. Employer's perspective. So far we have seen employee's perspective, that is the candidate's perspective. Now let's see how the employer, from the employer's side, from the company's side, I am going to give you the inside story of the organization so that you get appraised about, you create an awareness about how organizations are functioning. Now, there is a lot of concern in the management to focus on the health and safety of the employees. So there are a lot of programs, there are a lot of initiatives, both financial and otherwise, which is being taken for focusing on the health of employees. That is very important because human capital, as I told you, is very, very important. So you will be a beneficiary in the present state so that your health is taken care not only by your parents or your mentors, but also your employees also. People first approach. The human capital is very important. Profits are secondary. Turnover is secondary. But retaining people is very, very important. Because today what is happening is there is a good supply and demand factor where supply is in shortage and demand is there in certain of the industries. So what happens is there is a competition in certain cases, in the case of freshers, and in the case of experienced people, companies go all out to retain them or buy out people from other organizations also. So this is also happening. Remote working has come to stay. So there are a lot of infrastructure which is being provided like laptops, infrastructure like furnitures, everything which is being provided, internet facility is being provided, all by the organization. So focusing on reskilling of the employees, upskilling of the employees is also taking place, and organization is working towards this. So this is one of the recent trends. Next slide, please. You have any questions at this stage? Anybody has got any questions? Okay. Now, at the entry level, there are more takers. So there is a competition at the entry level. When you reach after experience, then what happens is to retain you. After having proved yourself in an organization, the companies would like to retain you. But at the entry level, there is more supply than demand. For example, there are still some organizations which conduct walk-in interviews. And some of the companies, the walk-in interviews, the average footfall per day is about 200 people. Average footfall is about 200 people. But some of the organizations are having online interviews. But in case the requirement is more, the requirement is in thousands, they conduct what is called recruitment drive. A recruitment drive means that most of the formalities of recruitment is conducted in a single day. For example, now you walk in for an interview for a position, and what happens is you will have technical rounds, then the HR round, and then you go for final round where negotiation takes place. Now there may be about 10 managers who may be meeting you, right? So what happens is first meeting takes place normally in the normal mode, pre-COVID mode. You first go for an interview, come back. They take about a week to decide. They will be shortlisted. Again, you will be called after about 2-3 days, and again you will be called for a final interview. So it takes about 2-3 days or 1 week, 2-3 sessions. But today it is happening in one day. You will be met from morning to evening. You will have to spend the whole day in the organization. If you're selected, from one stage to the other stage, next stage, and 3 to 4 interviews will be over, and the final offer letter is also given on your hand on the same day. This happens online or offline to save time. This is called as a recruitment drive, which companies go for. Now, before even you go in for this, there is an online test which is being conducted, and there is what is called as ATS. You know what is ATS? Can anyone guess what is ATS? You can even Google it and find out. I'm giving you some tips, but can anyone answer this quickly? What is ATS?
Applicant tracking system.
Very nice. You are a professor or you are a student, Mahima?
I'm a student, sir.
You're a student. Very good, Mahima. I think we need to give, all of you give hand to Mahima, because that's a very nice answer. Application tracking system. This is a very important thing. Application tracking system. Like, for example, what does it mean? It means that, for example, yesterday, Sister Bindushri was talking about if you are a member of LinkedIn, if you're a Facebook, you have a Facebook account and things like that. You have 2-3 accounts, right? So supposing I type KJ Madhusudan is a candidate, KJ Madhusudan, and I type this application tracking system will ensure that I get the profile of KJ Madhusudan from Facebook, from Twitter, from LinkedIn and all that, and they put it all in one place. Now, if there is a variation in your profiles, what you have written, that will also get reflected. So that entire thing is getting in one place. Apart from that, your other educational qualification, everything, it will gather from online records and it will come to one place. So this and we'll be able to shortlist the candidate. So this is how ATS software, recruitment software, is also being used extensively by the organization. Not only that, this ATS software is also being used. Various brands of softwares are there, and they do not only recruitment process, they do onboarding, they do training, they do induction, and they give offer letters and so on and so forth. There is a string of operations that this software can do. So companies are resorting to these softwares. So we have to get attuned to this new atmosphere. Next slide, please. So as I told you, hiring, I think I have already covered this in the earlier slide itself. So there is a lot of changes. Like, for example, apart from the recruitment drive, which I mentioned, the HR round was supposed to be in the last. In normal case, the technical rounds, and then comes to HR round, because at that point they will come to know about your your various soft skills and your presentation skills, your communication skills, and then they fix the interview. Technically, how you are is the first precedence which is taking place. But today it is reversed. First they conduct the technical round, and then they go for first they conduct the HR round, then they go for technical round. Why? Because they would like to know whether this horse, can we bet on this horse which has come for the interview today? Can we bet on this horse? Does he have the good communication skills? Does he have the presence of mind? Is he circumspect in his answers? So these are all the things which they would like to evolve first. Then they go to technical rounds. So technical rounds, though it is very important, that is taken a secondary stage, and the first this thing is HR round. So HR round is becoming first. So this is a change which is happening today in the COVID situation. Next slide, please. Now, there are a lot of incentive which is being offered, my friends, to retain a talent. For example, X amount is given as an annual compensation to you, and you demand that X amount. This X amount is being given. But what happens, supposing in this age of attrition, people leave very quickly, because they get very many offers. So in order to retain, what they do is an amount is set aside out of this total compensation cost to company as joining bonus. You join a company and you complete 1 year. After completing 1 year, you get an X amount of bonus because you have completed 1 year. If you complete the second year also in the same organization, then you get the other component of the retention bonus. So joining bonus and retention bonus are the two in things today which an experienced person gets when he or she joins an organization in order to retain them. Now, this is one thing which is happening in the organization which I am revealing to you today. So if you are good technically, if you are good professionally good, then there is a lot of chances that you get additional bonus. Company would like to retain you. And there is also innovative schemes, like for example, there is one company which I don't want to reveal the name. You join that company, everyone who joins that company gets a bike, a BMW bike. Can you bet it? So you join the company, and academically, you get a bike when you're joining the company. So what is happening today is there is a lot of innovation which is taking place to retain the talent. So what is the message you must get? What is the message you're getting? Manish Verma. Manish Verma, can you answer me? What is the message? Why is the companies are doing this? What is the message that you are getting as a fresher? Are you a fresher, Manish Verma?
Sir, I think they do this because they want their newly employed to stay for longer period, because they don't want to waste money on training.
Yes.
And if they use all the money on training, etc., then after some year or one might someone leave, so it will be lost for the company. That's why.
Correct. No, that is obvious. But what I'm saying is, what is the message that you are getting?
I don't know, sir.
What is the message a new student, a new recruit will get? Yes, Yash Anil? Yash Anil, can you answer this question? You raised your hand. Can you unmute yourself and answer, please? Anybody? Quickly. Oh, you're asking me a question, is it? I'll answer this question later, but I want to know, please answer my question. Why is it that company are giving so much of goodies and incentives and so much of they are giving so much of benefits for people to retain? Oh, you're not able to unmute. Okay, fine. No problem. No problem. The message is this, my friends, that you need to equip yourself. Better pull up your socks right today. The competition is good. You need to be better. The competition is good. You need to be better. If you want to retain your job, if you want to grow in an organization, you need to be better than the best. So what are the areas? Soft skills is one area. technical competency, digital skills, efficiency, and various other aspects connected to what I have mentioned already. So if you have all these things, you are a go-to person in an organization. And if you are a go-to person, you can get these benefits. So you need to equip yourself, train yourself with a good mentor and ensure that you come up to that level. Don't be docile. Don't be lazy. Don't remain unsatisfied with where you are. Low aim is crime. Higher ambition is always very, very important. Yes, so that their employees stay motivated. Exactly. Now, one thing is that motivation from the organization, right? But what I'm asking is a specific question for you freshers who are yet to embark upon a corporate career. What is the message that you have to get from these actions of the organization? Is that you need to ensure that you become seasoned quickly, and so that you become a force to reckon with in an organization. That is what I'm trying to say. Next slide, please. Now, employee referrals are a in thing today. Supposing you join an organization, there are some vacancies in the organization. You can refer some employees, your own friends, your own colleagues. You can refer them and ensure that they get employment. And when they get employment, you get rewarded. That is what is called as employee referrals. Now, in employee referrals, there are a lot of aspects where they don't want to reveal the identity. Supposing I want to give a referral, I don't want to ensure that, of course, my name should be recorded, but I don't want to, the person who receives the application should not be known to you. So there are various aspects which is being innovative schemes. Like, for example, one of the companies resolved to have in time a Santa Claus sitting in a cafeteria. He receives a lot of applications. He's sitting there. Nobody knows who the person is. Incognito, he receives all the applications referred to by the employees. And he himself is a person who is working in the organization. Nobody knows about his identity. He receives all the applications, and so that he builds up the applications and start contacting the candidates. And when the candidate gets a job, you get rewarded. Right? It is so rewarding that, in certain organization, if you refer 5 employees, you go for a free trip to Singapore. It's all happening in the corporate. You refer 5 employees, your own colleagues and friends, and you go for a holiday to Singapore. So there are various schemes which are being thought about, innovative HR schemes which are being thought about by the organization and adopted, so that employees are also getting benefited. Next slide, please. Job portals is very, very, very prevalent, and this is being confined majorly for senior positions and not much for junior level positions. Next slide, please. Onboarding, as I told you, various onboarding formalities are being conducted or being done by ATS software, and this is being done automatically without making much of a fuss. You don't have to report physically. Your laptop, your infrastructure, everything is being couriered to you. You get all the joining kits, everything delivered at your doorstep. Only thing is you have to be mentally prepared to report online, and virtual session starts, virtual working starts. Okay. So with this, I complete my presentations. I think I'm also taking a bit of more time. Now, next slide, please. Now it is time for questions. You can either unmute yourself and ask question. Yash, Anil, if you are not able to unmute, you can type your question. I can answer. Anybody, please?
Sir, I think many of them have posted the question in the chat box.
Chat box, is that 1 minute? Yes. intern and employee. See, intern is, when you do internship, like for example, you do an MBA or you do a post-graduation, you do internship, and that is very, very limited. For example, you do a project. 2 or 3 months, you go as an article clerk with a chartered accountant, you go to an organization and get some practical experience for 1 or 2 months and come back. That is an intern. But employee is a permanent employee in the roles of the organization. Intern is not in the roles of the organization. So I hope I have answered your questions. Yes. Any other question? I don't see any question here.
So can I read a question for you, sir? Akhilesh is asking, can you please elaborate in HR module? Okay, that I think you have answered. So anybody who has a question, you can just put it in the question in chat box. What is the difference between intern and employee? That also I think sir has answered. Sir, one question I think it is elaborate on HR module with any industry related, specific to some industries.
Yes. Thought you must be having a lot of questions because you're going.
Some mix, sir. It is second year, final year, and first year also.
It's a mix. Yeah. Okay. The topic today may be about interviews, maybe about companies, maybe about the economics scene today. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Which job's role is the best? Whatever you decide, Yash, Anil, because you need to decide on your career. When you decide on your career, you need to decide on that, and every job is good. There's nothing like HR is good, industry is not good, marketing is not good, and things like that. Wherever you have flair, whichever line you have flair, you need to choose and then do a job and then start liking it, start enjoying it. Then you'll be able to grow. Anybody else? MNC or private, both are good. In fact, MNC is slightly risky because unless you have good standards and you are prepared to be thrown out and things like that, MNC is good. But if you want a stable job, private is good. Gautam, what are the major roles of HR? Because many people assume only recruiting and related to payments. Okay, major roles of HR, in fact, is becoming very wide today. One is HR is recruiting, which you have already mentioned. Recruitment, training and development is another area, right? Then employees' grievances. HR operations is one area where you have give back-end support to the main HR team. Then there is again, payroll, recruitment, staffing, and training and development. These are the areas. And there is also a new development today that is called as grievances. That is basically, there are a lot of organizations which are having some gender insensitivity. and there are a lot of emotional issues connected to that, sexual harassment and things like that. So that is being taken care by the highest level, at the level of VP, to take care of this, because inquiries will have to be commissioned, and there are a lot of process which is being have to be initiated. So these are all also is a part of the HR aspect. What about promotion in corporate industry? Promotions are basically based on your performance. You are not in a government organization where X number of service you offer and you get automatically promoted. It's not like that. Promotion is basically based only on performance. That is the reason why I told you it is basically your own performance, your output, which is very, very important. Promotion is directly connected to your output, your deliverables. Yeah, Shanil, I think I have answered your question.
One last question.
Yeah. If there are no questions, we'll close it.
Sir, what about promotion in corporate industry? What is the difference between promotion and transfer? Asked by Yashani.
What about promotion in corporate industry? Yeah. Okay. What is the difference between promotion and transfer? Well, there could be transfer is a totally different thing, because in certain organizations, even to punish you, they may transfer you to a remote place. So there are certain transfers which are promotion with transfer, right? So transfer with promotion is different, and sometimes transfer is also because you get there is no people to man that specific branch, so you get transferred there. So that also happens. So it all depends. Promotion is totally different from transfer. They are not connected. Only sometimes it is connected. So I think with that we are already 4:15 nearly. So we can close the session. I thank the management of SSMRV College, Pavana, as well as Dr. Anupama, Dr. Anil Kumar, the principal, and all the staff, and everybody who are involved in this, especially Gokul for the IT support which he gave me, for all the support which you have given. Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity. I'd love to interact with you in person in the coming days, probably if I can get an opportunity, because that is one thing which I am used to. So this online thing has got its own limitations. I do not know what you're doing right now. Whereas if I see eye to eye, I'll be able to meet you and see your expressions. Okay, in any case, thank you everyone for all the opportunities.
Sir, before you can I just ask one last question?
Yes, please.
Hi, sir, this is Adarsh. I'm so sorry I'm popping this question at the end of the moment.
No problem.
Sir, I run a small scale business. Particularly, I am into interior furnishing. We run a manufacturing unit and we have about 20 to 30 people in our payroll. Hello?
Yeah, tell me. Go ahead.
Sir, the problem with my industry is that, we're trying to scale, and the kind of resources that we want are not willing to work with our company because, we seem to be a little bit of a small business, or, it's a very startup kind of a scenario. So we would really like to hire some, good sales executives or senior sales executives, a very good experience in their basket. But those people, I feel somehow after joining or having some spend some time with us, will choose to not continue, or some such thing is happening. I don't really understand what is causing these issues. But so I was under the impression that our hiring practices and HR practices are to be at fault. So I was just trying to interact through these webinars and understand what wrongs I might have been doing. Can you please?
No, this is one of the basic features with low-sized companies. organizations, or unless it is a very major startup or things like that, it has been one of the features. Attrition rate, in fact, attrition is one thing which is affecting all the industries and all the sizes. It is not exclusively only for you, because people today have got a lot of opportunities and they don't want to stick on to any one particular organization, more specifically, which is not a branded organization. They'd like to attach themselves to a branded organization. So they always look for a branded company. So they would like to gain experience and then move on. Now, in order to solve this problem, you have to scale up the operations and reach the level at the market. Till then, you may have to, sustain, and then you may have to live with this problem.
Whatever we have right now.
Yeah. Till you get till you are a force to reckon with in the market, till your brand gets established, right? Then you can stabilize. Then people will stick on to your organization. Till then, I think you have to live with this problem. Is what I personally feel. And mind you, you are not an exception. All the organizations have gone through this phase. It is only a phase. It is not an exclusive problem which your organization is facing. This phase will also get eroded.
Thank you, sir. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody, for the questions. That was indeed enriching. The explanation was lucid and proficient. It was indeed great listening to you, sir. Thank you for accepting our invite. The aspects were very profoundly touched upon. It was great listening to you.
Thank you.
A grateful heart is a magnet for miracles, and showing gratitude is one of the simplest yet most powerful things humans can do for each other. Now I request Dr. Anupama ma'am to propose vote of thanks and also the closing remarks.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. A thoughtful and in-depth onboarding experience is an integral for both attracting and retaining top performance. Good HR leaders don't aim to fill spots. They forget about employees after a few months on the job. They choose candidates who they know will be an excellent fit for the position. They help in their success by providing relevant and effective training programs and regularly facilitating impactful collaboration within the company. That's the motive of true HR. Good afternoon and good evening, everyone. Myself, Dr. Anupama, Assistant Professor, Department of Business Administration. What a wonderful session it was. Shri Sundar sir, a versatile speaker in HR, having experienced in dealing with lots of problems of HR, a true profession with a great exposure. Just to summarize his session of today, sir started with the session with enlightening us with the present day status of corporate and expectation of the corporates from the students. Gave us an insight on resources like money, material, and above all the human capital as a resource. Then he focused on a competency ladder. I think it is everyone should be watching this competency ladder every moment, which is a must to go up as a learning ladder. That was a beautiful share from you, sir. Skills to be equipped as a fresher or to any job in the corporate are like positive communication, interpersonal communication skills, emotional balance, which is very important. Above all, problem-solving skills, and to the apt for this particular environment, online etiquettes and digital skills. COVID impact on HR from the candidate's perspective. Work from home or remote working, he said, it is a new norm. On-time work logins, flexible working, which is very important. Choosing a career in product or service industry, it's always the students would have a question. So they have to choose a right path here. Virtual interview skills, skill sets, aptitude tests, personality tests, which is very important to be learning as a skill. Virtual onboarding process, the students should know. The students should also have new skill sets like digital analytics, AI skills, which are top rated nowadays, and critical thinking above all, with strategic management and conflict management. This is one of the very key skills that one should have when he is approaching to any of the jobs. Creative skills are very much required. So many skill sets. The candidate should also have to have very important thinking towards emotional intelligence. Yes, emotional intelligence is very important, not only towards the job, but also as a life, they have to take up with this particular emotional intelligence. And then he proceeded with COVID-19 impact on HR's perspective. How HR should take care of it. Health and safety of employees. People are the first in approach. Remote working with flexibility. Reskilling and upskilling is one of the new mindset that employers should have. Online recruitment with online tools like ATS softwares. Incentives for hiring and retaining a top talent or maybe the talent with joining bonus, retention bonus are some of the new strategies and innovative strategies the employers should really focus on. Employer referrals are the new technique as an effective tool of HR. Looking out for the candidates with job portals, online boarding processes. These are the things that an employer should be equipped with a new environment. Sir also has given a very beautiful overall picture, I think, apt to the trends and practices in HR. The HR Club, which has initiated this particular webinar, truly a had a very wonderful insight. Hope the HR Club has rightly started the club with a very good enthusiastic start. Hope to see many such programs in the near future. That's about the concluding remarks where I think all the students and teachers really have gained the potential learning from the session. So I really thank the true profession with passion will always very close to her heart. I think Sundar sir is an expert in corporate training, which I know from many years, where he is training students for an industry ready. He also helps the students to equip with modern day corporate etiquettes, be it a verbal skill or non-verbal skill. Sir, we are very happy to listen to you and really have gained lots of insight about HR and trends in practices. We at SSMRV and HR Club Abhyuday feel privileged and happy to have you as a resource person. Thank you very much, sir. A great leader recognizes the importance of teamwork, but is even more in tune with recognizing the value of every individual within the team. One such leader is our principal, Dr. S. Anil Kumar sir. Thank you so much for the tremendous support and an encouragement to this program. On behalf of HR Club Abhyuday, Department of BBA, and my own behalf, thank you, sir. My special thanks to IQAC Coordinator, BCom HOD, Dr. M.S. Nagraj sir, for his outstanding support to organize and to the success of this two-day national webinar on HR trends and practices. Sir, we at Abhyuday HR Club, thank you for that wonderful gesture. Thank you, sir. My wholehearted thanks to our beloved HOD of our Department of Business Administration, Professor Jagdish sir, who is instrumental to conduct this and make this program a great success. Sir, we are happy indeed for a continuous support and encouragement from your side. Thank you so much, sir. My humble thanks to the HODs of BCA, Mrs. Shanti ma'am, MCOM, Mrs. Lavanya ma'am, for their continuous support. Thank you. My heartfelt thanks to the convener of HR Club, Abhyuday, Mrs. Pavana Kulkarni, Assistant Professor, Department of BBA, for her great initiative to start this club in our college. Thank you so much. A warm and very friendly thanks to all the teaching staff for their continuous support. How can I forget the work and support by our department teachers who have put in day out to work on this program? I thank all the teachers of BBA department for their heartfelt support. Thank you all. I thank the office bearers of HR Club Abhyuday for their timely support and initiative. A great start as the office bearers. You will learn a lot, and all the best, and thank you all. I wholeheartedly thank the technical team of Gokul sir, Rani ma'am, and Vandana ma'am for this program. Thank you all. Last but not the least, very importantly, thanking all the participants who have joined from all the corners of the nation, from different colleges, and thank you all. Without your participation, this program wouldn't be complete and successful. Thank you all. And thank you for the opportunity, Pavana ma'am and Dr. Anil Kumar sir, for this wonderful opportunity. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. This is to bring to the kind notice of the audience. The feedback link is already shared in the comment section. Kindly take a moment to fill in the response, and once you send the response, your certificate will be sent to the mail. Thank you. And I wish all the very best for all the aspirants out there for their endeavors. Good luck, everybody. Have a great evening.
Thank you. Thank you, Sundar sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.